Hello everyone and welcome to the video, and today we're going to be going over a full movement guide, and this is going to be specifically for controller or console. If you're controller on PC, this works the same, and honestly you could probably get a little bit of utility and some information out of this even if you are on PC. It will just be a little bit different obviously because controller is a little bit more difficult to move on and to navigate around. So we're going to start with the basics just a little bit. I know most people are already going to know this, but some people won't. And then we're going to get pretty in-depth. I'm also going to show a couple of clips just for proof that this is a very, very effective way of, utilizing your movement in the game and how much it can change the outcome of gunfights. So first up, we're just going to talk about the very, very basic stuff, which is sliding and jumping. So this is actually one of the most important things in the game. A lot of people will not be able to keep up with me if I'm just running in a pub or something. This never really happens in like ranked games, obviously, because all ranked players are obviously going to be doing the jump and then slide, or the slide jump rather. And this is just a quicker way of getting around the map. You can throw a little bit of a strafe into it by just looking down and then bringing your camera up and kind of using your movement stick to strafe just a little bit. It doesn't really add much. Most of the time you're not even going to see a difference, but just sliding and jumping is going to get you from point A to point B much, much faster, as well as putting your weapon away. You're going to be moving quicker. So just keep that in mind if you're just trying to get from one point to the next. So that's just the basics. So now we're just going to get into the actual real thing. So right now I'm just going to put a couple of clips on the screen. And these are clips I got from Ranked, and this is obviously Apex Predator, as you could tell, and I'm able to strafe and do a lot of these crazy things where I'm able to dodge a lot of bullets, and some of these, they look pretty insane when like the bullets are literally outlining me, and it actually looks like the Matrix when they're going left and right. So if you can get good at your crouch spam and strafing, you're going to see a lot of success in your 1v1s and gunfights and games in general, and you're going to see that you're going to be winning a lot more and you're going to be getting hit a lot less. So as you can tell in these clips, like I said before, it's very difficult to hit me, and these aren't bad players, obviously. A lot of them are Apex Predators, so you can tell that they're not bad players at all. It's just a good technique for strafing and moving. So as you can tell in a lot of these clips, you may not be able to see it clearly, but for the most part, I am just crouching. I do have hold or toggle crouch instead of hold, but if you want to put on hold, it really doesn't matter. But the general technique is to crouch as much as you can and move left and right very, very quickly. And then you combine them, obviously, and then you have to maintain your aim as well. So it can be a little bit difficult, and that's why optimizing your settings is very important. So I have a scuff, but my crouch button is R3, so I actually don't use my scuff at all for my crouch spamming and strafing. The only thing I use my scuff for is jumping, which obviously has nothing to do with the movement in gunfights. So basically you can have an optimized settings with just going on the button puncher layout, and this is going to help you be able to crouch while not having your finger off of the aiming stick. So right here I'm just going to show you guys how exactly you're going to be doing this. And what it's going to look like. So basically, this is going to be the strafe. You're going to want to be going back and forth as fast as you can. Kind of be as unpredictable as you can about it. And then you just throw a crouch in. And it should look a lot like this. And then if you are going to do it with a weapon while shooting, it's going to look like that. So you want to make sure that your accuracy is still on point while you do it. So it's going to take a lot of practice, obviously. And once you practice that, it should look something like this, where you're able to do it pretty effectively. And this is going to be, you're going to see a major difference immediately. This is a very, very important part about having good mechanical skill, is the movement. It's about 50% of your mechanical skill. You have two parts of it. You have the aim and then you have the movement, and they're both just as important. So if you're not moving, if you're not strafing and crouch spamming, you are probably going to be at a disadvantage in a fight versus someone who would be doing it. Also, another thing to note is that it is very good with hip fire, and I do this a lot. I will crouch spam, and I will just hip fire if they are very close to me. So the next thing I want to talk about is just wall jumping. This really isn't that necessary. It's more of a flashy thing, but you could get some cool plays off, and sometimes, very, very rarely, is wall jumping necessary. 95% of the time you're going to be able to do anything. I would say honestly 99% of the time you're going to be able to do anything normally rather than the wall jump. Like I said before, the wall jump is just flashy. But in case you want to know how to do it, there is two different ways of doing it. Personally, I like to just jump and spam as fast as I can so that I don't miss the opportunity. But you could also just jump and get the timing right, and this is one click. So you're going to want to jump and then press A or X right as you hit the wall, and then that will do it. But personally, I just spam it as fast as I can since I have the scuff paddles. And the basic movement is you're going to want to come in at an angle, jump at the wall, and then turn back. And then that way you'll add a little bit of a strafe into it as well. And as you can tell, you know, it throws you pretty far, and you can do pretty cool plays with it. Like, you know, you can jump over walls like that and do it like that, or if there's like a say this wall came out like to the left here and it was like kind of an L shape, you would be able to do the jump like that and go over the barricade, and you'd be able to go over it. So like I said, it's incredibly situational. You can also do it like kind of against buildings and gunfights. I just did it and I was able to get a pretty cool like shotgun headshot, and it just looked cool. It was flashy, but it was incredibly unnecessary, and that's just kind of how it is for most of these wall jumps. They're just, for the most part, unnecessary. But if you want to know how to do them, like I explained, you know, you're just going to want to either spam, and grabbed on the wall that time, you're just going to want to either spam or get it timing perfectly, and either one works. It really doesn't matter which one you use. They're both effective methods. So before I end the video, I just want to show you guys an extra little movement tip, and this is going to help you a lot. This is something I never really see anybody do in the lower levels, so this is not really going to be a tip if you're an expert level player, but basically it has to do with popping meds, and it's very, very important to do this, especially if you're running from the storm. So I'm just going to get a thermite actually right here, and I'm just going to show you guys exactly what I mean by this. So basically there's a technique that you can use when you are hitting your meds. Say I'm running from the storm. I'll pull out my syringes. So basically the technique is to you want to press up on the D-pad, so you start your heal and then you slide and jump. So you want to do this pretty quickly, but you're going to press up first, slide, and then jump, and then right into a slide, and then do a little jump and slide afterwards. And then you can see how much ground I'm able to cover, you know, just by doing this. And that one was a little bit bad, but I'll just show you guys one more time. You slide, jump, and you want to press the syringe button before you do all of that. And then you can even do it with cells. It's incredibly effective. You can add a bunny hop, but it's very, very difficult to do on controller. And that's just how it is. If you're on PC, you're going to be able to do that a lot easier. But for the most part, this is very, very effective when you are running from the storm as well. You're going to see a lot of extra movement. So I think that pretty much wraps up today's video. Another thing I want to note is that you don't want to crouch spam too hard, because it could potentially mess up your aim, especially with weapons like the wingman. You could just see yourself messing up your own aim, and it's very hard to multitask when you have to spam the trigger as well as spamming crouch and going back and forth very quickly. So I would just avoid doing it with precision weapons in general, but with any spray weapon, you're going to be able to do it pretty easily. So like I said, that's pretty much it for today's video, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.